Hello. The reason for this quick video is I've just got off a call from a client called Andy, and this is used by Andy's permission, and Andy is not this person's real name. I've changed his name, but with permission, I'm sharing the story. So I've known Andy for, I guess, 3 years now. Done quite a bit of coaching with him and a few of the colleagues, and actually someone else in his family. And he got in touch with me for the first time in about 7 months yesterday. Sent me a WhatsApp. I said, "Can we talk?" I said, "Sure." What's going on? And said he just had some bad news about a potential promotion. So we arranged to speak today, and a conversation that lasted probably 20 minutes. And I wanted to share what Andy saw that might help you watching this, because I think this really matters to everyone when they really get a grasp of what I'm going to point at in this quick video. So Andy had um, a call with his boss yesterday about feedback from a recent interview, and the interview didn't go well, although Andy didn't know it didn't go well. And effectively, Andy didn't get the job. It went to another candidate. In fact, an external candidate. They didn't um, give it to the one of the two internal um, candidates going for the promotion. And Andy didn't like how um, the feedback was given. He also was having a tough time with what the reasons were given for him not getting the job. Now, I'm not going to go into the details because the details don't matter. But he was feeling pretty low last night when he messaged me, and then again today when we're on the Zoom call. And there's another person in Andy's business that is apparently someone that Andy doesn't get on very well with, and not many other people do, but it's a very senior person and carries an awful lot of weight in the decision making. And in Andy's mind, it's this other person who made the call about who gets the job, and this person's never liked Andy, and this person's got it in for Andy. So Andy was feeling really kind of victimized by this other person and wasn't taking the news well. And when he was talking to me, he said, because it's really knocked my confidence. I feel terrible today. I think I should leave. And while it's all understandable to feel that way with disappointing news, what I reminded him of was this one thing. And it is one thing that this SVP, the senior vice president, who, is the person that Andy thinks has got it in for Andy, but carries an awful lot of decision making clout in the business. He was really feeling slighted by this person, by the senior vice president, and was upset while actually on the Zoom call with me. And I just pointed out, you notice that you're feeling upset now, and the senior vice president isn't here right now. He's not sitting. The call was made from his car, parked up very safely. Not there with you in the car. So how do you explain how you feel right now, given the fact the senior vice president isn't here? And he just went, "Oh, okay. What do you mean?" Well, I said, "Well, it really looks to us as human beings that people and things cause us to feel things. The external world feels like," and I know I've talked about this in plenty of the other videos as well, but it's worthwhile really seeing and taking another fresh look at to see this more deeply as it's working for me as well. So it's interesting, Andy, that you can feel bad about what happened yesterday and feel bad about the senior vice president. It's not yesterday, and that person isn't here. So it's me then. I said, well, I mean, yeah, it's happening inside of you, But the mechanism by which human beings feel anything, any emotion, comes from here in our own minds, and it's brought to life in our consciousness right now, and it's always right now. So we can feel the excitement of what tomorrow night's dinner might be, or the plans that we've got for the next holiday, the next vacation that we've got, or feel bad about, or great about election results, or anything else that's going on in our lives and in the world. Yet at the same time, it's really great to notice that the link isn't coming here, it's coming from here to the emotion within us and where we feel it wherever it is in our bodies. So the cause is in here. It's thought appearing real. And thought makes it look as if the external world is the cause of it. It makes it look as if the external. It brings all that stuff to life. But it's still only happening inside. If it's only happening inside, and it's a thought created feeling, well, it's worthwhile looking at how thought works. Now, this conversation was happening, between me and Andy, but we talked about how thought works and the fact that it is fleeting, it's transient, entirely transient in its nature, that it keeps on moving through. And it's telling us things that aren't happening right now. So right now I'm imagining taking the next sip of my tea, and I can imagine, even without knowing I'm doing it, I will imagine the taste of it. And sometimes I'll get, ooh, coffee now, ooh, tea now, or okay, I wonder what I'm gonna go to the shop, to the store to buy for food for the weekend and next week. And I'll start to imagine that. And I'm not in the supermarket, not in the store, not even drinking this tea. And even when I am drinking this tea, well, right now I'm aware of it. I'm aware of the flavor when it was in my mouth, the temperature and the flavor. But, I'm three-quarters of the way through this cup of tea, and I would imagine out of the, let's say, 20 sips, I've probably tasted four of them, and everything else is autopilot. I wasn't even aware, conscious of the taste and the temperature and everything that goes with it while I was, the feel of it while I was sipping the tea. So to me, that's an amazing thing to know, that that's just how we are as human beings, is that thought is transient. It just comes and goes. And the fact that it is telling us how vivid our imagination is. We can imagine the future, imagine the past, think of something else, and we feel as if it's happening. And it isn't. So we're feeling a temporary illusion. Feeling a temporary illusion whenever we're, in our heads. And I would suggest that we're probably feeling a temporary illusion even in the present moment, unless we're really quiet of mind. All that's really happening is we're attaching a meaning to a thought that we've got through our heads, and that's just how we experience life. So right now, your attention on your right big toe, the big toe on your right foot. And you might feel it on the ground. You might feel it in your sock or your shoe, or the floor, depending on what you've got on your feet. Now you're aware of that big toe on your right foot. You weren't until you were aware of it, and it was always there. I don't know, wherever else your kind of thinking's gone right now, you might be like, wait a minute, what's he talking about? Well, that's the voice in your head. That's thought. Maybe it's gone to a different toe. Maybe it's gone to your fingers. Maybe it's gone to what's for dinner this weekend. Maybe it's gone to I wonder which company Andy works for. Maybe it's gone to where's that scene in the painting behind Wyn's head. All of that is thought. All of that is thought. And it doesn't mean it's wrong, but it's worthwhile knowing that that's what we're doing in our lives. And the reason that this matters The reason that this matters is we often build our lives and do things in order to feel a certain way, not realizing that where the feelings come from isn't where it looks like they come from. So, as an example, Andy could now write a letter of resignation, hoping that the next company would be great and he'd be happy. Look, and it may be true. He may actually really enjoy if he does leave and go somewhere else. But it's based upon a misunderstanding that we're all up against, which is thinking that the outside causes the inside, causes the internal feeling. And a conversation I was having this morning with somebody about having boundaries between them and their half sister. So, two half sisters. And while they've been getting along, one of them is having a tough time, and it seems to be to the one I was talking to as if the energy is being sucked out of that person by the tough time being had by the stepsister. So the person I was talking to was thinking about, okay, I need to have boundaries about, making sure that I'm protected emotionally away from this. Look, and I get it. I get it. But it's based upon a misunderstanding that somebody else can make us feel anything. And what was amazing in listening to this person talk is that before they would even talk on the phone, the person I was talking to would get angry and resentful about spending the next 20 minutes listening to their half sister. It's interesting. So before the call, would get angry and resentful, and the half sister's not even there. Now, the reason that matters is what we do will depend on how much we understand what's really going on. So we could create boundaries and borders and rules for the way that we interact with other people that would be really different if we understood that in our own feeling state, our own mood, our own state of mind is totally 100% internal. It's only ever happening within me as an entire ecosystem. It won't look like it, but that's still true. And everything I've been pointing at points to that. And what that means is, if it's true that it's 100% that what I feel comes from what I think, not from the outside world, not from other people or circumstances, not from the past or the future, if that's true, then I'm genuinely free of anything that can happen and anything that has happened in my past and anyone in my life. I'm genuinely free, emotionally, mentally free. And the great thing is, when I'm not thinking about my plight and when I'm not thinking into my bad feelings, my feelings just generally, naturally rise without me having to do anything about it. Or another way of saying it, I don't need to protect myself against something that doesn't do anything to me. When we see that for ourselves, it opens up a whole other world of possibility because we can then see that we're genuinely free and genuinely able to have a totally different perspective on our life and what we feel, how we feel, because we see how thoughts and feelings and this human experience works. I hope this was helpful. I wish you a great rest of your day.